So if you've seen my video about the best 3DS games of 2014, you may already know how I feel about Fantasy Life. Spoiler alert, I love this game. However, just because I really enjoy playing it, that doesn't mean it's a perfect game. For example, Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is a near perfect game, but that doesn't mean I love it to death. Nevertheless, since a lot of people have no clue what Fantasy Life is, or what you do in it, or what the story is, I figured I would give some information on it. So without further ado, let's dive into the world of Reveria. Which is a stupid transition since you can't dive into land. Now, our story begins when a meteorite falls into the player's home in Castile. The player then goes to the king, who tasks the player with investigating these meteorites that are called Doomstones. These Doomstones are said to give creatures dark and destructive energy, and also seems to be the reason behind much of the unrest in Reveria. Directly after this meeting, the player meets a talking butterfly who accompanies them throughout the adventure. Each part of the plot is divided into chapters, which have the player going around Reveria to different towns to fulfill a certain character's wish. This is something that the butterfly claims will save Reveria from the darkness the Doomstones will cause. Speaking of the butterfly, she may just be one of my favorite characters in any recent video game I've played. Her character arc and reveal as, kind of spoiler alert here, the daughter of a goddess is fascinating. She starts off as somebody who is passive and kind of shy, but as the story progresses, she becomes more assertive and dynamic, and her role in the climax of the story is both sad and uplifting. Oh, and the ending is amazing. Very seldom do games make me feel sad, happy, excited, and angry at the same time. Although the story is quite long, it's definitely worth completing. As for typical RPGs, there are a lot of text boxes, but they are all worth reading. During my first playthrough, I skipped a lot of them, but as I played back through the game, I discovered how well written and humorous the dialogue was. Each character feels distinct and interesting, even the ones you only get to talk to for a short while. I can tell the developers put a lot of work into making each character have a unique persona, although there are some things that kind of bug me about the plot. Since each chapter ends with an NPC getting a wish granted and saying, "Yay, my wish was granted, neato," it seems rather monotonous and corny, and a lot of the pacing is a bit odd. Before each major chapter, the butterfly makes you explore a certain area and then proceeds to talk about it, which is kind of annoying when you just want to continue on a new chapter immediately after the previous one. However, my biggest problem with the game is how the story and the life system mix. If you didn't already know, this game has a class system where you can choose different lives that requires you to do certain quests to level up. Each life comes with its own gameplay element that can range from crafting items in a sort of minigame fashion as a blacksmith, to cutting down trees as a forester, or to killing enemies as a wizard. As you progress through each life, new quests will open up that require you to do something that is relevant to where you are in the story. For example, the wizard in its first stage must kill some enemies in the first area, but after the wizard ranks up, it must kill enemies in the next area. And this goes for all of the lives. See, the story restricts how you go about ranking up your life. If you haven't done a certain chapter, you can't progress through your life. As someone who gets sidetracked easily, this was a big problem. During my first playthrough as a wizard, all I wanted to do was complete my life's quests, but my progress was always halted because the story prohibited me from going to the areas that I had to complete my quests in. This may not be a huge problem to others, and I can understand why the developers did this, probably to prevent over-leveling and neglecting the story, but I felt like this was worth pointing out because I have seen other people with this complaint as well. Other than that, the gameplay is quite entertaining. Ranking up lives is satisfying and a lot of fun. Some people have complained that a lot of the lives are too similar in this game, but everything to me feels unique. Even repeating the same minigames for blacksmithing was enjoyable. This game is packed with a huge amount of content. There are so many lives to master, so many areas to explore, a story to fulfill, some interesting DLC, and obviously all the villager side quests. My first save file has over 150 hours in it, and I have achieved creator status on all of my lives. Needless to say, Fantasy Life has a ton of replay value to it. It's more of a laid-back adventure that you never feel stressed or bored in. And if I did feel bored of the gameplay, I would just change my life, which you can do at any time. The fact that you can change your life at any given point in the story makes the game more enticing, and it encouraged me to play more and more of it. Plus, some of the bosses feel actually challenging, which is something I didn't expect from such a semi-casual game. Take the Ancient Napdragon for example. Man oh man, is is that boss difficult. It led to many deaths and sorrows during my playthrough. Additionally, there is a multiplayer functionality where you and your friends can hunt down big monsters for bounties and do other life quests, which is pretty nice whenever you need help with some overleveled creatures. Another aspect of Fantasy Life that's great is its presentation. The art style and the visuals with the 3D setting on look spectacular. Sure, some of the textures may look blocky, but the models of characters and enemies look pretty stellar. Not to mention the music is catchy and has a simple yet exciting feel to it. Sometimes I even found myself falling asleep to the sounds of the grassy plains on late Fantasy Life nights. Overall, Fantasy Life is a great experience. The game may have its heavy story flaws and some annoying restrictive aspects, but I love it nonetheless. It may not be a masterpiece, but I found myself returning to the game whenever I was bored, or whenever I just was watching some YouTube videos. Fantasy Life is packed with a plethora of content and features, so of course I would recommend that you pick this one up. I mean, I feel like this is a sort of game that can be adored by fans of RPGs, life simulation games, and action-adventure games. If I had to give this game a score, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Go get this game, seriously. What are you doing with your life if you don't have it? And if you agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to never miss one of my newer videos. And as always, thank you so much for watching and take care. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.